Bump 2 is obviously the second bump in the series or in the bump method. Remember that the most important thing with the bump is matching your actions with the actions of the student. If bump 1 doesn't work, you need to up the ante, so to speak. Bump 2 is where a student may continue to talk after you've said, hey Johnny, stop talking, thank you. If he continues, you may say, okay, I'm going to have to up it again, and I'm really going to have to spend a little bit more time dealing with it. We're still trying to keep your reaction as low-key as possible, and definitely not inviting a reaction or an escalation of the behaviour. The other important thing with this bump, the same as the first one, ensuring that we're not distracting other students. That's the number one thing. If you're using these bumps hundreds of times per day, imagine how many times all the other students are being distracted if you're yelling and screaming and carrying on like some of the more old school type education stuff do. First thing, the most important thing to do, stop and pause. Whatever you're doing, you'll need to stop. You'll need to face the student. We call that squaring off. In fact, bump 2 is called squaring off. Stopping, pausing, even if just for 5 seconds, turning to the student, squaring off, and a minimal verbal. Johnny, thanks, stop. And ending with a thank you. Thanks, mate. And then go back on with whatever you were doing before. Don't stand there and wait for them to turn around and argue. That could just invite an escalation. Expect that they'll comply. Look them squarely, square off, turn around and continue. And that's bump 2.